Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and goodbye, our beloveds. Now, why goodbye? Just like Armageddon or the end times, it is where you die, but it is simply the old you that dies in order for the new you to be reborn. It is a process, it is a transformation, a transfiguration even, if you know the story of Christ and how he was transfigured into another glorious being, we shall call it. How you get through the eye of the needle is so important because it sets the stage for the afterlife. And we don't mean the afterlife as in after you transition or die, but the afterlife, what life looks like after being pulled through the eye of the needle. The patriarchy is dying, and all that is attached to the patriarchy is dying. And you all don't even understand really what the patriarchy is because you think of it as male domination. And no, it is nothing that's simplistic and caustic. It is your belief systems, men and women, your cultural belief systems, your societal belief systems, your governmental, your economic, your educational, your healthcare, your promises, how you promise until death do you part, but you really don't mean it. It is really until you fucking piss me off and then I leave, right? It is not based on love. It is based on control and manipulation and trusting no one else because you want yours and you want theirs and they want yours and they want theirs. So how can you trust anyone when everybody is stealing from one another? And where does this start with? Well, it started with stealing one another's women back in the day, then their goats and their sheep and their cattle, then their slaves, then their goods, then their property as a whole, and then their lands. You know, you went to a place collectively where you stole lands, as well as the lives and the properties attached to those lands. You burned what you didn't want. You left behind what you didn't need. You took what you wanted. You raped, you pillaged, you killed, and you were really pretty damn murderous. That was the energy of the times. So everything, the entire construct of society has been built upon that murdering and venomous energy, going back to the snake, as you all have been taught in many instances. But it is not truth. It is merely an energetic imprint within which you found yourselves. Whether the apple was eaten or not, the imprint was there. So you couldn't have gotten away from the generality. However, you all went whole hog into this approach and really maxed out your credit card, if you will, on this particular proposition of fame and glory at the expense of everybody else. But that, our beloveds, is in the past. And for those of you who can feel the shift into this new energy, you can feel this new loving and compassionate programming coming in. It is in the ether around you. It is in the air that you breathe in. It is in the water. It is in the soil. It is in the nature. It is in the vibration of everything around you. And for those of you who have not adopted this new way of accepting that all is well, all is well, all is well, well, for you, it is a very painful process to not let go of what is burning your hand. Your hand is still stuck through the eye of the needle, grasping on to those things that you so desperately want to take with you. And those items are now getting boiling hot, if you will, to burn your fingertips so you can let go of them. The pain is that excruciating, but your central nervous system still somehow believes you need to take these goods with you. because you're so fearful about the future, about abandonment and lack. Those are the two primary vibrations of loss that you all are trying to carry forward with you through the eye of the needle onto the other side, and it is not welcome. It is not invited. It will not be initiated into this new way, so it must be left behind. So trust us when we just say, let go of that which no longer serves you. Your triggers right now are to remind you, and more importantly, your past hidden behaviors, which are slowly being exposed, one page or one activity at a time. Wouldn't it be better for you all to admit to what you have done, confess what you have done publicly, and turn away from it, rather than allowing the universe to shine the spotlight on you so that you will be shamed and programmed into defensiveness and poor behavior? It is so much easier simply to admit what you have done and to move forward and to heal and to help those whom you have harmed. But no, so many of you feel so righteous in your indignation, and it is not going to work out well for you. We can tell you because we can see the energetic imprint within which you find yourselves and within which you will find yourselves within 5 or 10 years. And these energies just simply cannot come with you, and you will lose everything if you don't let go of that which cannot come along. You are grasping onto what you don't need and honestly letting go of, or not grasping onto, what we desire for you to pull through the eye of the needle with you, which is past relationships that need to be restored, past lovers that need to be accommodated, past family members that need to be honored for your transgressions, past losses, past thefts, all those things where you have harmed others. Those are the things that we want you to bring along, but not to remind you of how bad or terrible you were, but to remind you that you are no longer that. To let go of that which no longer resides within you, because you have healed from it and you have restored integrity into the nature of where that came from in whatever heals the past harms. And many of you just simply are unable or unwilling or don't understand what is being asked of you. But we continue to beat this drum in hopes that every day just one more of you will begin to understand what this journey is really about. It is not to shame you. It is not to put you in the corner. If you can finally admit, this is who I was in the past, and this was the best that I could do because of my own past, and then to heal those coping mechanisms by honoring the harms that you have caused, taking responsibilities for the harms caused, and moving forward in a loving space, your karmic backlash or burden will be somewhat relieved, and it will be so much easier for you to get through the eye of the needle. But so many of you do not believe in this process of redemption and restoration, and then ultimately resurrection. It is here to call you forward into a similar journey as that which Christ lived. You are in the 40 days in the desert right now, where you are being tempted to show who you are. Can you withstand the devil and the temptations to behave poorly or to look for false promises of power by just giving up your connection to the divine? Or do you believe that there is something greater outside of you that is helping you at this point, helping you to become the best you that you can? And when you surrender into that process of loving self at all costs, honoring self at all costs, and becoming full self at all costs, meaning that you Authentically be you, the full you, the true you, the real you, and then see what happens. It may not look very pretty at the outset because you have not done this before. You have always behaved out of your coping mechanism. But once you practice being you and feeling comfortable and feeling the universe smile on you, it will become easier and easier. And this is how you recreate the neural pathways to healthier ways of being. We need to create shortcuts or long cuts from what you have in place that are your coping mechanisms of old from your childhood. But you can't create new pathways until you go on new journeys, new paths. And then you have to travel them frequently to create some wear and tear on the road. It needs to be a well-traveled path. But with each time, you will have more memory of what this looks and feels like. And then before you know it, the old paths will have a road closed sign, so there won't even be an opportunity or an option for you to go down those old paths of coping mechanisms. We're trying our darndest here to really explain to you what this looks and feels like. And some of you get it, but many of you don't yet because you listen to the words instead of the vibration that underlies the words. Just ask us to come in. Say, we don't understand. Show us what this looks like. And then pay attention to those intuitive knowings where you choose to behave differently than you have in the past. Out of being vulnerable, out of trusting that being honest and upright will somehow benefit you. And not by denying what you have done because somehow you worry that it's going to bite you in the butt. It will bite you in the butt as the universe shines a light on everything, and we mean everything that has been hidden up to now. Whatever skeletons you have in the closet in some sense, if you have not pulled them out and set them on the front porch for all to see and know and experience, well, expect that the dog will go into your closet when you're not looking and will drag that sucker out and put it out on the sidewalk for all to see. It is not a fun way to go through this, to have the world find your hidden demons when somebody else exposes them, because you are not in control of the narrative. Somebody else is, and will put their own spin on it. Better for you to fess up to what you have done and why you did it, why you feel bad, and how you will go forward being a different person in Christ. And that's it. You will see that hiding your light under a bushel no longer serves you, because it means that you simply sit in the dark. Light your pilot light again. Find the inner you, the soulful you, the youthful you, the one that still believed in a better future and hope and possibility, and trusting that the universe will show up for you this time, even though it didn't when you were young. It is part of the construct to teach you to trust now, to overcome those past traumas and tremors, and to become a different being. We will continue to beat this drum until the last one of you is standing in defense against moving into a new place of love and understanding and compassion. And vulnerability is the key that you have to unlock the door, to get through. That is the only key that is offered to anyone along the way. Vulnerability, as it is the way to connect to other people's inner experiences, the shared common experiences of past hurts and how you overcame them and how resilient you are now. And we wish to just simply remove the need for resiliency. We wish to simply offer a new experience, but it cannot be shared by the collective, all of you, until all of you have joined this party. The majority of you are there, believe it or not, but not enough of you to really change the outer expression yet. You will find it within yourselves, but not in the world around you yet. You see hints of it, but not landslides or avalanches or tsunamis of this new positive energy based upon vulnerability. But we will share more and more about people who come out, sharing their deepest secrets, trusting that the universe will not judge them, because it doesn't define who you are in this new energy. It is merely an explanation of what created your experience, but that you have now chosen to walk away from those past traumas and to build a newer and better version of you, showing the universe that it is possible. You can become a new man in Christ by simply surrendering to all of your past foibles and flaws, mistakes and mirrors, and just simply saying, this is who I am now. Please love me and accept me and help me to feel warm and welcome and safe within my own body and within this new community. And so it is. Namaste.